María José Lopez de Heredia, and I'm the fourth generation of a family business, still called Lopez de Heredia Viña Tondonia.
So the question is, traditional versus modern. What makes a Rioja wine modern and what makes a Rioja wine traditional? And what is good or bad about each style?
Well, we do make a very traditional type of wine, but we always say that we've been modern for 131 years. Because what it is tradition and what it is modernity, you know, you can't really, we should start defining the concepts. And well, by tradition we understand something that lasts through time, and therefore we really agree that our product is traditional because we are here. And we also believe that our wine is a wine that has the same personality that was dictated by my great-grandfather years ago. And we are faithful to the same winemaking techniques, to the same way of treating the vineyards, and we are faithful to the same great varieties. And from that point of view, we can say that we are traditional. But I wouldn't say that a traditional wine is better or worse than a modern wine, or a modern is not good because it's not traditional. I think the good thing in Rioja is that there is a very wide range of wines, and you can choose either one or the other.
So the question I have is, a long time ago, or even recently, people criticized traditional wines because they were overly aged and overly developed, maybe. Your wines are very developed, but very delicious. Is there something different that you do? Or is there things that were bad before?
No, that's true what you're saying, but I think this has to go with fashions. I think some people got bored of a style, and now the same people or just others come back to the same style, but we haven't changed, and they are the same style, but because for a few years many of the wines with our style have disappeared, now suddenly they become popular and more modern or more into fashion, because it's more difficult to find them, and things go back or come back, and it's the only thing that has happened, I believe.
And you've only made traditional wines, correct?
Yes, yes.
So when you study winemaking, for you studying winemaking was a strange experience, no?
Yes, in fact, I'm not a very good winemaker, you know, because I only can make wine in my house. And I wanted to study winemaking because I needed to know and study new technology, other techniques, because in order to judge them, you really have to know them. And it was quite exciting because I wanted to see or get to know things that I wouldn't be able to do at home. But at the end, here is where we have had our experience, and if we had to make wine anywhere else, probably it would be a very bad wine. In general, all our wines are made to last, to get older, to age, and that's our philosophy and the characteristic of our wines. And what we look in the wines is we look for third generation flavors. We don't look for the flavors of the fruit because we don't release any of our wines young. We look for the complex and evolve and long-lasting flavors that are given by very long periods of barrel aging, and then for very long periods of afterwards bottle aging. That gives more round perfume, softness. None of our wines are very high in alcohol content, so the color is evolved in all our wines. It's not deep violet or ruby color. It's more velvety, what we call velvety color. And the nose in all our wines, we pretend it to be rich, very persistent, very round. It's big not because of the alcohol content, it's big because of the reduction that the wines have in the bottle. And this persistency for us is very important because it's like a perfume. Has to be there. The barrel aging gives some sort of complexity, but also being in a second line, not in the first one. We don't want to kill the fruit that has to be there somehow. And also in the mouth, we try to make wines that are soft, round and elegant as well, with a very persistent back nose, but very gentle, very easy to drink.
How does a wine last this long without becoming, with so many, hollow? It's not hollow at all.
Because all our wines are defined.
Are they very concentrated when you make them?
Well, it all starts in the vineyards. The real truth is that ever since when my great-grandfather came to the Rioja, he didn't know how to make wine. He had no idea. But he was surrounded always by the best experts, the people who could give him good advice from France and also from Spain. And they told him, Rafael, you won't be able to make good wine unless you own your own land, your vineyards. And it's very important that the concentration is not in the wine-making process. We don't do these long macerations, we don't pretend to extract the maximum, we do. But the maximum is extracted by itself, by the real aging of the grape varieties. By the blending of the Tempranillo, Garnacho, Graciano and Mazuelo, we still use the Graciano and Mazuelo to give the balance of the acidity and the color. We use the Grenache to give the balance of the alcohol content. And we use the Tempranillo to give the most personality in the wines, which is very much tastes like licorice when it's very young, and it develops very elegant and very toast and smoked when it ages. It reminds the old Burgundies. But the quality comes from the grapes, no other place. Then in the winery, we try just to do the less possible to preserve the maximum of that health grapes in the wines.
So one last question: your white wines, is that the same policy?
The same. The reds can be very enjoyable and can be elegant, but are much more easy to make than the very long-lasting white wine or a rosé. Are more difficult because are more sensitive to oxidation, and make them last longer is more difficult. And but something that many people don't know is that Rioja originally only used to make white wines. Now we are known because of the reds, but Rioja originally was producing more white wines, people were drinking more white wines, and the market was bigger in white, so they have an incredible expertise on making these white wines. Now we are the only ones who are making them. And this tradition has disappeared. This is a real tradition, because winemaking, modern winemaking schools don't teach how to make an old and aged white wine, because among other things it's not very much interesting commercially.
It's very true. Thank you for talking with me. It was wonderful.
You're welcome.